Hey guys, and welcome back. For today's video, it's a Tarte Foundation face-off! In one corner, stepping in with only 25 shades, we have the original Shape Tape Foundation. On the opposing corner, we have the brand new Face Tape Foundation, stepping in with 50 shades. Who will win? I thought it would be a really fun idea to do a new versus the old foundation test. I think we all are a little bit curious as to what is really the difference between the two foundations, because I went on Tarte's Instagram when I was first looking at the foundation, and I think a lot of people are kind of like, wait, what is the real difference? And I saw a lot of people asking that, and Tarte replied with, the face tape is full coverage with a natural matte finish, lightweight formula, mattifies, hydrates, and brightens the skin, and it's supposed to be the same as the Shape Tape Concealer. And the comments back were like, wasn't that what the original Shape Tape Foundation was supposed to be also? So I think it's a little bit of a confusion as to what is exactly the difference between the two. So I'm gonna help solve it today. We're gonna do a little experiment. We're gonna talk about both foundations, put one on one side of the face, put one on the other, wear it for the entire day, and just see what we get. If you guys did not already check it out, I did do a first impressions on this foundation just the other day. I'll put a little boop up to that one in case you want to check it out. I'll also link it down below in the description box in case you want to check it out after. This one I do already know my opinion about. The only one that I do not know is the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. This one I have yet to test out. I actually had to go into Ulta and pick this up because they no longer sell it on Ulta's website. They do still sell it on Tarte's though, so that's the only thing. You can still find it in some stores. I do believe they are going to be starting to pull it off the shelves though, because they are replacing it with the face tape. So just in case you guys are looking for this one also, let's just go ahead and jump right into the comparison. Let's start with the outside little cartons. So definitely quite a difference here. This is the old Shape Tape Foundation. This is the face tape. Definitely some differences. If you look on the Shape Tape Foundation, just says it's cruelty-free down here, but it is also vegan. I checked it out on their website, so they just don't say it here, because on this one it says cruelty-free and vegan, which kind of, if you're looking at it quickly in the store, you might be like, oh, it's not vegan, this one. You have to really look online for it. Other side here, the original just says double duty beauty, and then this one actually lists what the foundation formula is supposed to be kind of like. And here is the ingredients list in case you want to pause the screen right here and read it for yourself, everything that is inside of it. The new foundation is on top. Let me just show you guys face tape right up there. And the bottom one is the old Shape Tape Foundation. And I'm not gonna get into reading any of the ingredients because I'm gonna completely butcher it. I would get called out so hardcore. I did read the ingredients side by side. I compared one each back and forth, and they are very different, so it's not like they're sticking the old foundation into the new bottle and selling it like that. So always good to verify that, because they did say it is supposed to be a new formula. Now let's move on to the actual packaging of the foundations themselves. Of course, it's very distinct to know which one now is the Shape Tape and which is the face tape. Definitely made some changes. The original one is in a glass little bottle, and the applicator is a doe foot. The Face Tape Foundation, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, has now been changed into a pump, and the design of the packaging is definitely a little bit different. I'm personally a big fan of the changes that they made. I think this looks a little bit more sleek. I like that it's not the exact same look as the concealer itself, but that's just me, and I do enjoy a pump a little bit more than the doe foot applicator on foundations. Some other things is that both the prices are still $39, so nothing new there. The ounceage is the same. It has 30 milliliters or 1.01 ounces. Some more similarities to the foundation is that they're both supposed to be long-lasting, full coverage with a natural matte finish. Well, actually, the Shape Tape claims that's an airbrushed matte finish, and then this one's supposed to be a natural matte. Kind of the same thing. They are both also waterproof, but the face tape claims that it's also sweat-proof. Some other things that the face tape itself has is snow mushroom extracts, apple fruit extract, and hyaluronic acid to help hydrate and brighten the appearance. Meanwhile, the Shape Tape just says that it has the vitamin E to help nourish. So definitely some differences and some similarities. This is gonna be really interesting. I just wanted to get all the info out the way first. I'm gonna do a swatch of the Shape Tape Foundation right here. And then I'm gonna put a little pump of the Face Tape right next to it. The Face Tape is sitting right on top. I picked up the shade 12S Fair Sand. And in the Shape Tape, I got Porcelain Beige. So it's a little bit lighter for the Shape Tape. My original thought process was I'll make one a little bit lighter so that way you guys can see the differences between where the two foundations are. But then afterwards, I was like, wait a minute, that was maybe not the smartest idea. Maybe you want to see if the foundations truly look the same. I need to go outside today and I'm gonna have 2 different shades of foundation slapped on each side, so. But it's too late now. There's no going back. Ulta's way too far away from me. So I'm just gonna make it work. I am gonna go ahead and just start with the Shape Tape. First off, I'm gonna prime the skin the exact same way. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Porefessional. I'm only gonna use it in my nose area though, and then take a little bit of the Wet n Wild Coconut Primer Water. So fresh. I love it. Now let's start painting the face. Got my war paint on. I'm gonna use my Real Technique sponge. I'm gonna use this side that doesn't have the little flat side on it. I only have the one sponge, so I am gonna have to use it for both foundations. But I'm gonna use this side for the Shape Tape, this one for the Face Tape. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start working it in. It does look like it has some really good coverage to it. That is covering up the face quite nicely. Feels pretty easy to blend out. This is the first time I'm testing out this foundation, so I would be so surprised if I like this one better than the other one. That would be hilarious. I am definitely keeping an open mind today. I am not gonna go into it with one set opinion. We're gonna see the differences between the two and just see if they were exactly the same, if it's different, if one wore better than the other. Even taking it halfway down the neck here too. Oh man, it seems like it dries down kind of fast. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to put it all over first. I'm having to use quite a bit of pressure here. So you just gotta work quick with this foundation, that's all. I'm honestly really excited to be doing this foundation battle. It just seems so fun. Kind of want to do more like face-offs between products. Except for maybe next time doing something high-end versus drugstore or different things like that. I don't know, work in progress, guys. This is a first. Gotta be careful around the brows like always. Here is the Shape Tape side. That was just with a couple swipes across the face. Not exactly sure how many pumps that would equal. I want to put just a little bit, just like right up in here, that I feel like there's some redness that's still poking through a little bit. That's the thing with the doe foot applicators. I mean, it's a little bit tricky to get the right amount you want out. It's a little bit of trial and error and just putting a couple swipes and then seeing if you need to add any more. But I think right there, that is good. I look insane right now. I love it. All right, so that is the Shape Tape. How many times am I gonna say that? Jesus. I feel like I'm gonna get that comment that's like, take a shot every time she says Face Tape and Shape Tape. But I just wanna make sure I say it so that way you guys know which one I'm using and which one I'm talking about, because otherwise it would get a little bit confusing. So I took 2 pumps of the foundation. Oops, almost used the wrong side. Gonna switch to the other side of the sponge and start applying it over here. For this foundation, I did do the video on it, so I do know my opinion on it. I did the first impressions, uploaded that video for you guys, and then I decided to wear this foundation another time because I do like to test them out even after the first impressions, just see if my opinion stays the same or if it changes. And unfortunately, my opinion did not change about this foundation. It wears beautifully for 6 hours, and then the foundation just can't hold up. I don't know if it is my oils, if I'm too oily for it, but the foundation just starts to break apart. It starts separating really bad on me. And the first time with the video, it started separating heavily right up along the chin, up to the nose right here, and out towards the cheeks. The second day, it started doing that all in my nose area and out towards the cheeks up here. Got really heavily oily around 4 p.m., set it down, and then we had to actually go meet up with some friends. We hung out for a bit, and I was scared to look at my foundation at the end of the night because I knew it wasn't gonna be good. I didn't have anything to touch up. You know, I did already know how it wore from the day before. I got home, looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh God. I was so incredibly oily by the end of the night, and everything had just separated so bad. I mean, I was honestly like, oh God, I can't believe I was out like that, but I mean, I really couldn't do anything about it. We weren't home, and I didn't bring anything to touch up. I put foundation on my brow. I was talking and I got distracted. Dang it, I know better. I always usually do brows first. All right, so let me just get this like right about here. And then I'm gonna go in with the like little edge side that hasn't been touched by either one. Just bring it closer to the foundation where it meets. Oh gosh, should have just gotten the same foundation shade. You can really see the difference between the two foundations. And this one I know oxidizes. I'm not sure about this one, so it'll be a little bit of a surprise, but this one is gonna get a little bit darker, so all right. Which, looking at it now, this side looks like it has a little bit more coverage. I'm gonna go in with just a teeny weeny bit, just right up here, maybe a little bit here too. All right, okay, I just put a little bit everywhere. I wanna maximize the coverage and make it appear the same. Seeing as I might have used more foundation on this side because I pumped 2 pumps on the back of my hand. I didn't use all of it, but I did use a pretty good amount. So I wanna make sure I give each one a fair shot. So I'm gonna put a little bit more coverage and then we'll compare the two. Okay, there we go. I think that looks better. So ignore the eyebrow, I still have to fix it, but this is the face tape. Here's the Shape Tape side. Honestly, it looks very good on both sides, both very matte, good coverage. Both were very easy to blend out, and actually both are doing the same exact thing, that they're a little bit gathering in my smile lines right now, which does happen when I am just sitting and talking and I haven't said it, so I need to go in with some powder ASAP. But first I'm gonna take a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This one is in Fair Beige. I love this concealer. It is so good. It is one of my holy grail concealers. It wears beautifully on me. It's so full coverage. And I'm using my little concealer sponge here. I do have a separate little mini sponge I use for the under eyes. Also will help so I don't get any of the foundation mixed up with it. Just gonna blend that out, both sides. And then I'm gonna take my Coty Airspun powder super fast. Put it on my damp little sponge. Press it in underneath the eyes. Both sides, can't just set one and not the other. Bit here on the nose. You know, gotta take the precautions. I got a very oily skin type, so this is my usual little routine. I powder about 3/4 of the face. Bit on the chin here, smile lines, and some more on the forehead. All right, now that my face isn't gonna move around anywhere, I'm gonna pop off camera really quickly, finish up the under eyes, fix my brow, pop on some lips, and then we'll complete the rest of the face together. So, brief intermission. As I was doing those minor details, one interesting thing did happen. The Shape Tape swatch did dry down, and it looks like it's gotten a lot more pink in its undertone. Like, it's starting to really pink up here. I wanna do a swatch next to it as a little comparison. Yes, so definitely oxidizes and deepens up a little bit. The undertone is a lot more dominant in this one, whereas this one just looks very porcelainy. This one looks very salmon toned. So definitely a good thing to keep in mind. The other one doesn't darken in its undertone, it just gets a little bit darker in the foundation itself, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't become pink or anything, just dries down a bit. Because I felt like this side of the face was starting to look a little bit pinker, and I was like, whoa, and then I looked down and was like, oh, that makes sense. So let's go ahead and finish up the face together. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Wet n Wild bronzer in Wet Shady Beaches. And I'm just gonna warm things up a little bit, see if we can help even the face out a little bit, since I look a little bit insane with 2 different shades. And I am gonna bring it over onto both sides, you know, go over that harsh line I created of foundation. There we have it, all bronzy. I love it. Let's take a little bit of blush. This is the Wanderous Dusk to Dawn palette. I'm gonna use that lighter pink shade, just plop a little bit on the apples of the cheeks to both sides. Just add a little bit extra color. Last step, let's set it with a little bit of coconut primer water. All right, so let's do one final close-up of the foundation. Everything is looking really good at this point. Everything looks very smooth, full coverage, nothing weird is going on. Here is the time. It is now 9:28 a.m. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a check-in halfway throughout the day and just update you guys how everything is looking. I'm thinking that'll be in about 4 hours from now. I'll update you on the time, whenever that is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go about my day, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Time for that check-in. It is now, 1:31 p.m. so it's been a grand total of 4 hours. Let me bring you a little bit closer. Let's take a look at this foundation. New side, right up in here, old side. No surprise here, the new side is still looking fabulous. At this time, it still looks really good. On the old side, it's just gonna be easier to say new and old. It's actually looking pretty good. I don't see myself looking overly oily. There's a couple areas I am worried about though. It's starting to look a little bit cakey. Right up here in the nose, it's starting to build up just a little bit. Nothing too noticeable yet, but I'm hoping it's not gonna turn into something else. And right up in here on the forehead, it's starting to do a little bit of a grabbing motion. Aries! Ooh, there he is. It's like, no, mommy's filming. So that's how it's looking at this point. I'm gonna keep my eye on these two areas right here and see if it progresses and gets worse, or if it just stays looking like that. We're gonna definitely find out. I still have a few more hours to go left in this foundation. I'm gonna wear it for at least 8 hours today, so I'll check back in with you guys probably around like 5 something and give you guys the final verdict between both the new and the old. So I'm so excited to see how it looks in another 4 hours. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, you guys, you know what time it is. It's time for the final check-in. It is now 8:25 p.m. So it's actually been about 11 hours that I've been wearing this foundation. It kind of happened on accident. We ended up leaving the house around 5 o'clock, which I had then been in the foundation for 7.5 hours. We ended up going out running some errands and we literally just got back home, so there was nothing I could do about it. Here is what I looked at 7 hours in. I'm gonna go ahead and cut in the clip now, me giving you guys a little bit of a tour of the face. So at this point in time, you can see that the foundation was beginning to separate. I started noticing this about the 6.5 hour in to wearing the foundation. I just noticed the separation starting, which I was prepared for it to happen with the face tape because that has been consistently happening. And this is me 11 hours in, so let me get you closer because you are gonna freak out. And this is the new side, the new formula, the face tape on this area. It's gunked up here on the nose, all the way down into the chin area, and it looks so bad. And then here is the older version doing almost the exact same thing, really gunked up here in the nose and starting to separate out here. I know not everybody is gonna wear their foundation for this long, but if you happen to go out like myself, last minute, you need to rush out the house, I mean, this is what you're gonna look like at the end of the night. Which is why I also wanted to include the clip of the 7.5 hour point, because if you have a job and a commitment that you need to be for at least 8 hours, I mean, take in getting ready time, travel time, both to and from work, maybe you're towards 9 to 10 hours, I mean, you are realistically looking a little bit closer towards this. I'm not saying it's gonna happen to everybody, but this has been consistently happening to me, and I even tested out the Face Tape Foundation yesterday with different powders, different primers. I don't know what's going on, it's just not sitting well on my skin, and it appears that the Shape Tape side is doing the exact same thing, so For this little foundation battle, I don't think either one won. I think they're pretty similar. I know there is a different formula to them. I did check the ingredients, there's different stuff, but they do have a lot of similar ingredients as well, and I don't know if that's contributing to it, because the foundation just isn't sitting right on me. It's just, I can't make it work. So unfortunately for this foundation battle, I do have to say it's kind of a fail. But honestly, this was a really fun experiment to do for you guys. I had a lot of fun doing this and seeing the difference between the two foundations, because there is differences, but there is a lot of similarities too. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below too what your thoughts were on today's foundation battle. If you like seeing this kind of matchup, which one you thought was better. I mean, they both kind of look the same, but that's just my opinion on it. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little bell button. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!